Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about a really large speaker that came in a really large box. And the speaker we're going to check out is the Trettitre TreSound1 Hi-Fi Bluetooth speaker. Now first off, I'm pretty sure I messed up the name. I don't know really how to pronounce the company's name, but I'll just refer to this as the TreSound1. Now what this is a very expensive high-end speaker. It comes in retailing at $699, but right now it's on sale and they actually sent a code for you guys to be able to use so you can pick it up for $550, which again, it's still not a cheap speaker. Now the TreSound1 already stands out because it has a very unique design. In fact, the company says that the design is inspired by the mountains, which you can tell it has a very triangular cone-shaped look to it. And the design actually has a purpose in a lot of different ways. In fact, I originally thought that it was a plastic speaker, but once you pick it up, you notice it has a lot of weight to it, and it's actually handcrafted from wood. So it's a mixture between wood and metal. You can see the grill around the middle, which is metal, and that's actually where the tweeters and the speakers are located, and the large surface at the bottom is where they house the woofer on these, which we'll talk about that once we get into the sound. But they also specifically picked paint jobs to mimic the look of a piano. And the version that I have here is the white and silver model, but there's also a black and gold version and a green and gold version. And the design of the speaker itself could be a centerpiece in a room and not stand out to actually look like a speaker. So I like that they went with something unique. And like I said, the speaker's design serves a purpose. On the top, you can see it has this little light. This lights up whenever it's on. It also lights up whenever it's in pairing mode because this is a Bluetooth speaker. And the bottom of the speaker actually has an LED ring as well. But none of these colors are customizable. The bottom light actually kind of has a warm look to it, which again makes it really look like a showpiece when it's in a room. Now, this speaker also is a 360-degree audio speaker, so it's outputting the same sound no matter where you're standing around the speaker. And depending on where you position it in a room, it definitely can get loud enough to fill a space with sound. Now, as far as the technology that's in the speaker, it is using Bluetooth 5.1, but it also has aptX HD, aptX AAC, and SBC playback. So the fact that you're getting aptX HD in a speaker like this, I think is pretty important, especially when you're spending this kind of money. And also keep in mind, this is not a portable speaker. This isn't one that has a built-in battery, so you can't just charge the speaker and then just take it out to the beach, which a speaker this size and this heavy, I don't know why you'd want to take it to the beach anyway. So this speaker does actually have to stay plugged in, and it comes with its own AC adapter. It also comes with a pouch to house the AC adapter, and then the only other thing it really comes with is a 3.5mm cable, because you can plug in anything that has a normal 3.5mm jack into this speaker, so you don't have to use it Bluetooth if you don't want to. Now, as far as the actual controls, the top of the speaker, once you turn it, you'll hear it click, which makes it turn on. You will see the light start to come on, which again lets you know that it's on. But this is also your volume control. So as much as you turn it, is as loud as you can get the speaker to be. But speaking of those controls though, that's the only controls you get with it. It doesn't come with a remote. You don't have track control. You don't have play, pause, like none of that on the speaker itself. So you're going to have to control that from your phone or whatever device that you're connected to. So I would have liked to have seen this speaker come with a remote, because if I'm sitting in a room and I just want to listen to music, maybe I don't want to have my phone right there so that I can get interrupted with phone calls or notifications and things like that. I just want to control it with a remote and kind of be disconnected from my device. Now this speaker technically is a 2.1 channel surround sound speaker. It has 2 silk film tweeters and 2 full range speakers, which are located right where you see that metal grill along the middle of the speaker. And then it's also using dual 30-watt amplifiers mixed with a 5.25-inch subwoofer that's down firing on the bottom, and it can get all the way down to 20 hertz, which really, to just sum all of that up, you have the tweeters and the full range speakers in the middle that's handling your mids and your highs, and then that subwoofer at the bottom getting that low of a frequency is kind of separating the low end so it doesn't mix in with the mids and the highs. And really, as far as the overall sound goes, that downfiring sub is giving you plenty of punch in the low end. This is a very bass heavy speaker, but it is not sloppy. It doesn't come in again and just like mess up the mids and the highs. The mids, I feel like, are the definite focal point of the speaker. I've switched from metal to easy listening to country to rock to pop. You know, whatever genre I was listening to, vocalists always came through extremely clear. The vocals filled up a room, which sounded really nice. The treble on this speaker, surprisingly, is not an overly bright treble. I could hear all of the details very clearly. It had plenty of shine to it, but again, it just didn't reach that shrill, bright sound. And going back to the bass, there's so much punch in this speaker. Again, you can switch it from different genres and it doesn't muddy up the sound if you're listening to metal. If you listen to classical, the bass doesn't take over. It allows a lot of those details to come out. Regular just pop music and hip hop just comes through extremely clear in this speaker. The only thing I will say, if it is a very bass heavy song, the bass at times can kind of pull down some of the details in the treble. The bass never tend to mess with the mids at all. Again, I feel like the mids were the focal point of this speaker. And then when it comes to the soundstage and the sound imaging, this was another interesting area because this is a very wide open sounding speaker, but it doesn't necessarily do a great job of being able to tell where sounds are coming from because you don't really know where your left and right is on a 360-degree speaker. So that might be nitpicking it a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily use this as a surround sound type speaker, but it does work great as a sound bar if you want to use it that way. And it just, again, just works great with different genres of music. So I was really pleased with the way that it sounded overall. Just my overall opinion on it is it's kind of pricey. And if you are looking for a speaker that you can take with you from place to place, this obviously is not that speaker. There's no built-in battery. Really, there's no built-in controls other than power and volume, which kind of feels limited. But I think for what it is, which I would classify it as a showpiece type of speaker, a speaker that stands out because of its look and also because of its sound. I think it sounds excellent. I just feel like at times it's limiting because of what it's designed for. It's not made to be portable. So it's really going to come down to what it is you're looking for. But I really enjoyed the sound out of the speaker. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't really just take it around because I had to always make sure that it was plugged in. But it's unique and it has an interesting look to it. I think the white and silver version has a futuristic look to it, especially with the light at the bottom. So if you're looking for that piece that has a look but also can deliver in the sound, the Trettitre or Trettitre, however you say it, TreSound1, I think is a very interesting speaker. But guys, that wraps up my video on the TreSound1. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.